Hello, what's up? I'm Brian here, doing another video for you guys, and this time, after a long wait, we finally got a reveal for what seems to be the Transformers Haslab project Victory Saber. And this is a pretty big deal because this was a Japanese character that's now being introduced to the international audience thanks to Hasbro. So for those who don't know what Haslab is, basically it's their own version of Kickstarter. The Unicron project went through the same thing. That was about $600. This one's closer to $170, so it is definitely much cheaper. They also mentioned that there's going to be different tier listings. Some of them they're keeping secret at the moment, but they did announce one. Anyways, we're going to take a look at the figure. These are great prototypes. They are completely unfinished, so take everything with a grain of salt, but this is pretty much the idea of what these certain figures will look like. And then also, they did a Fan First Friday just talking about this, so if you want to check out that stream, I will post a link down in the description below. Anyways, taking a look at the Brainmaster, so this is the Brain of Courage figure, and he is super tiny. He is smaller than a Titan Master, which we thought was as small as it can get, except for those little, they look like 3D printed figures. But no, this is extremely tiny. And yeah, he looks pretty good. Obviously, we just see it in gray, but I do think that the details look right. He's got the same chest shape that the full suit figure does look like, so I like the reference in that. Seems like he might have arm articulation, but I'm not sure. Might have leg articulation, but again, I'm not entirely too certain. But one thing he does have is a head that will flip up, and that will be the face of the Saber figure. Now, what's cool about that is it will still be able to articulate. They managed to make this drum system where the head will rotate with the helmet on it. So I thought that was a pretty cool idea, and I just think overall, yeah, he looks pretty cool. But this is the Saber in the Jet Mode, so this is the core figure, and I think he does look pretty cool. I like the aesthetic of it. He definitely looks like something that you would swoosh around, so that's pretty cool. I also like the angle that the shot has. It makes it look like it's coming out of the cartoon, out of the anime, and I love the fact that the Brainmaster will be able to sit in the cockpit properly. It's not like a separate thing that they'll fit in, not the cockpit itself, like some of the Titans Returns figures would do. But of course, this is small enough to be put into that. And yeah, I think the wings need to be a little bit more chunkier, but given the reference, I understand that. Just personally, I would like to see a little bit bigger wings. But otherwise, he looks pretty good. And there's the robot mode, so obviously he's got the flaps that kind of remind me of the Siege Sideswipe, and that's a little unfortunate, but other than that, I do think he looks rather nice. He kind of looks like a smaller version of the Overlord figure, considering that he has a big chunk of jet on the side here, and then that big gun. But yeah, I think he's nice and boxy. He looks like he'll definitely be a chunky figure, and they compare him to a Deluxe. He looks like he's going to be a Voyager, but he's a chunky Voyager, so I do like that. Taking a look at, I put these in the wrong order, I think. There's the Jet Mode for the V-Star Jet. So this is the Saber with the V-Star Jet combined, so it's got the boosters on the side, and this is where everything comes together. For the most part, there's another thing that will also attach, but we'll talk about that in a second. And for the most part, he does look cool. It's got some bits hanging off the top, but otherwise, yeah, I really do like it. Love the giant boosters, love the guns at the front there. The wings just fold up from the Saber, and then you got the wings sticking out on the sides. And again, he just looks really cool. One thing I love about the Star Saber setup, even though I'm not really into Victory, was this Jet Mode. So I'm really impressed by that. And then taking a look at the Star Saber in the robot mode. Now, they did mention that they're going to rework the sword so that it's two separate pieces. You got the hilt and the sword blade itself to position it in a different way, so you can have the cartoon look or you can have the toy look. And I thought that was a nice touch, but I think the design overall is really good here. I love the ears that stick out on the side. They're not straight up, of course. I think that's pretty cool. The waist looks chunky. I didn't really get a good image of that, but the waist looks chunky. I keep saying chunky, but this guy is a chunky figure. And you know, the arms, they're pretty thick too, especially right around here. Just everything looks great to me. And yeah, taking a look at trying to get the image. This is Victory Leo. So this is going to be another character that will also be able to combine with the Star Saber setup to form the Victory Saber. And I think he looks alright. You know, he's got the line head. Kind of reminds me of the Skylynx kind of line thing set up just with bigger wings and 2 guns. So yeah, it leaves a lot to the imagination because it doesn't really look too much like a lion. You know, it's just a very simplified, like, oh, it's got the lion head, but most of it's, you know, the robot mode. But I think for what it's worth, it's okay. If you do hit one of the tier lists, you do get an attachment to help make the jet mode. So we'll talk about that in a bit. But there's the robot mode. With the great color scheme of this, it kind of looks like a prototype for one of the Predacons, but obviously it's not. And I think it looks pretty good. I love the gun barrels on the side. That's very nice. And, you know, he's got the large guns that can plug on the back. And it's unfortunate because you see the hollow sides, but you can bring them forward. So that's a nice touch. And they also mentioned that the weapons are all blast effect compatible. So that's pretty cool. And, yeah, I just think he looks very nice. And then he'll be able to combine with the Star Saber to make Victory Saber. So he plugs onto the back. It's kind of hard to see, but he's there. You could also see that the helmet is flipped up on the top of the Star Saber itself. And yeah, can't wait to see this in full color. But also, we see the combined mode in the robot form, and I really do like that, especially the guns over the shoulder. I think that looks pretty cool. The wings on the side. Yeah, I'm so into this. And then there's also a tier list where you can get this larger gun that will be able to attach to the Victory Leo, and again, will clip onto the drum barrels. I thought that was a nice touch. Also a 5mm port at the bottom. This is for 14,000 backers. You also do have blast effects. I'm not sure if they're going to use the same molds as the Jetfire blast effects. I'm hoping that's new blast effects. This is an early prototype, and we're talking really early. Like, there's definitely going to be stuff that's changed later on. But I do think he looks fantastic. What do you guys think? Please comment below. Let me know. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those fun doodads. And we'll see you guys next time.